All right, ladies and gentlemen, how we doing? Appreciate y'all tuning in. As you've seen the headlines, you know we're talking about the best teams in 5A top 10 basketball. We're gonna run through the top 10. Myself and Naj. First of all, man, hope y'all doing well, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Second time, right? Um, this is the show for basketball junkies. We're gonna crunch it up. We're gonna go over some film tonight. We're gonna go over the Langston Hughes, Noonan film. My guy in the background, Naj. We're gonna chop it up. So we're gonna give y'all in-depth and in-tune breakdown. So I'm not gonna take any of more of y'all precious time. I'm gonna bring on my guy, Nigel Williams. What's going on, brother?
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. You ready to crunch up these this top 10 5A action?
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
All right, brother. All right. Let me go to Kyle's page real quick. Pull up the top 10 rankings. There may be some people in here for the first time that's watching. If you're in for the first time, crunch the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Turn on the bell. Get down in the comment section and get in the live chat, man. Definitely subscribe to Nigel Wilkins and Bacon Network on YouTube, TikTok, X, Instagram. While you're here, man. So if you like it, keep coming back, man. We'll keep lighting you up and keep loading you up with this high level content. All right. Here's the 5A list. So number one, you got Gainesville. Gainesville, to me, rightfully so, 22-0. Currently rated top 25 per Max Prep in the nation now. Top 25 in the nation under, coaches been doing it for a long time, 25 years, I believe, and Charlamagne Gibbons. They do it big. And we'll go through it. I'm going to go through all of them, and we'll come back to the top, break each team down one by one. Number two, Alexander, a team that's emerged in Kyle Sandy's top 10, or not top 10, top 2 school within these past 2 weeks, 19-2 on the season. Very talented team led by Pops, Gregory Pops Dunson. Number 3, you got Decatur. This is a team I'm very high on, brother. You know what I mean? And definitely interject if you got anything to say before we go through them as I go through these teams. But Decatur is a nice team, really a team that I like, 20-3, coached by Coach Welsh. Number 4, Woodward Academy, 17-6. You know what I mean? To me, just like Decatur, very dangerous team, you know what I mean? Very electric. Britton Luceno, former number one overall player in the class 2028. Dutchtown, gritty team, very gritty team. Kind of like the Jonesboro 5A, if you ask me. I like Bobby Buzz a lot. Johns Creek, seen them this summer. They got some talented wings, guard, edge type of team. Milton, name brand team in the state. You got to know Milton. Much respect, 14-4 season on a 14-4 season this year. And Langston Hughes, had the opportunity to see them last Friday. Very good team. Another team that's doing it big on the side. Woodstock is another very intriguing team. You know what I mean? Got a top 10 player. He's 2028, right?
Who?
I can't remember his name for Woodstock. Lead guard, 24 is his jersey number.
Jamar Maurice?
Yeah, he's top
2028.
2028. Jamar Maurice, top 10, 2028. And doing that down at the 10 spot, man. Very high on that team myself. You know what I mean? Very well coached, got a lot of good guards. I mean, they can do it all, man. They can beat you up on the inside and outside. But like I said, we're going to go 1 through 10 in depth. We'll start with number 1. I see we got some comments via Twitter. You already showing it. My bad, brother. For sure. Let's go, Milton. Don't sleep on Coach Whiteheart. He's going to have them boys ready. We ain't sleep, man. We ain't sleep. We know what type of coach, you know what I mean, what type of coach Whiteheart is at Milton, what type of program that is, and what type of pride those boys carry on and off the court, man. So I appreciate you tuning into the chat. Andre Lavelle, appreciate you, brother. All right, let's hop into it, man. So we had Coach Gibbons on Naj. It's been what, maybe two, maybe more than that, about 3 or 4 months ago now. And you know what I mean, you had the chance to do the interview, so I'm gonna lean on you for the interview expertise here. But we know Gainesville is a pristine team. You know what I mean? They got Charlie Gershmel, who's 6'8". They also got a 7-footer, which I'm sure a lot of people know, but it's a lot of people who don't know that they have an actual 7-footer on their team in high school, which is crazy. His name is Kevin Curtis. Not Kevin Curtis. Yeah, it is Kevin Curtis. So I mean, we got a front line like that. They like to lean on it. Coach said he likes to play inside out. So, with you talking to Naj, I mean, how do you think this team basically is a shoe in to be state champion in 5A?
I won't say shoe in to be, but they definitely are going to be one of the favorites for sure. They're very loaded. We talked to him when he came on the pod. Kevin White at the point guard spot, like you said, multiple 7-footers and experience at the guard is something he alluded to. And he felt like he had a lot of depth going into this year. And I think the thing about when you look about Gainesville, right, they've played a pretty, really good schedule, I would say, right? They've played the Dutch Towns, the Woodward Academies, the Wilson Academies, the Kales, Pinson Valley, right? They played some of these top teams in order to kind of test themselves for the region. And I think with how deep they are, they're going to definitely be a problem for most teams. Obviously, Alexander's a good team. Got Bobby Bugs. We know Decatur is loaded, very senior laden with Tobias Brinkley and Wellborn, right? And we know about Woodward Academy talent from a talent perspective is probably one of the best teams. You could say in 5A when you look at Jarvis Hayes, you look at Miles Hayes, his brother, Billy Luiscano, like they got a very loaded team overall, right? So, 5A is interesting. I don't want to say like they're going to just win it, but they've definitely dominated competition. They've won against some of the best that the state has to offer, and they've emerged, in my opinion. So Dutchtown's a good team too. Can never sleep on them. They're doing well even after losing a player like a AJ Williams, still 15-4 this year, playing high end basketball. And you can, like you said, you can never sleep on Coach Whitehart and Milton. I think we've seen that, right? They had a couple big upset wins last year in the high school state tournament. So you can never sleep on Coach Whitehart. And what Milton has, they have a bunch of good players, Solomon Branton, players they were placing as well. But you can never sleep on them. They're always prepared and ready to go and deep. And then obviously Woodstock, 18-2. And we go back to Sandy's list. We talked to Woodstock, and like you said, Jamar Maurice. We know they got obviously another great guard. They're really guard laden, but they're having a phenomenal year so far this year. And then your Newton Cougars is doing good as well, 18-1. Good to see them on this list. You can make the argument maybe they're too low at 18-1 so far this year. Maybe Langston Hughes should be bumped down a little bit, 10-6 so far this year. But I say 5A is going to be very intriguing, to say the least.
Yeah, 100%. Naj went all through them. But just to finish up on Gainesville, like I said, Coach, they play a very inside-out game. To me, like you just alluded to, Naj, when you were talking about Gainesville, Kevin White, to me, might be the best two-way player in 5A. Somebody who's coming in, getting it done, average 18 points, elite on-ball defender, very sticky. I believe maybe averaging, I think maybe 2 steals per game this year. So I think when you look at what they got, the size they have, Kevin White able to make those big time shots, and that's what you're going to need. But defensively, it's going to be tough to beat. It's going to be tough to beat Gainesville with their interior size. I'm not going to book them in because, like I said, we're still early, still in region play. Got to see how the playoffs look, but it's going to be tough to beat Gainesville for all of these teams. Nobody is that top to bottom size, skill across the board. But let's move on to number 2. Alexander. Alexander, 18-2. Gregory Pops Dunson, average 18 points. This is a team like the rest of the teams. They're going to play 5 out pretty much. A lot of wings, a lot of tweeners here. Pops is electric. Pops is going to be able to get them over the hump. Just what he does, but that's not to take away. That's not to take away from the rest of his teammates as well. They got 4 players shoot the ball. 34 players shooting the ball from outside from 33% or better. I mean, this is a jump shooting team through and through. You know what I mean? But this team on the defensive end, they get steals, but to me, what can be Achilles heel for this team moving forward, they are a team that likes to block shots, which means they're also susceptible to getting them in the air, getting them in foul trouble. So that's going to be possibly an Achilles heel, possibly how you can attack Alexander moving forward. But again, this Alexander team is very athletic, very long, and they have high IQ players. And Pops Dunson, as we covered them this spring, 3 SSB playing with the Atlanta Celtics, I believe, was one of the leading scorers in that whole on that circuit. So very high on Alexander for sure. Moving on to probably I say my second favorite because we all know my favorite team on this list is the Noonan Cougars. Big Noonan, as we're saying it down here. But Decatur, Tobias Brinkley, as you said, Jason Wellborn. What's the other young man's name? The point guard just to pass the 1,000-point mark. Let me go to my notes. Bryce Housen, I believe he's got 500 assists. So I mean, you know Coach Rio. I believe you talked to Coach Rio. But this team is, I think, can potentially beat Gainesville on this list. Tobias Brinkley is by like 6'8". Jason Wellborn is an elite shot maker. And you know what I mean? If this team can get hot, they shoot the ball well, they shoot the free throws, they shoot their free throws very well. This team can get hot, man. They can beat anybody. They were two for the longest in Kyle Sandy's ranking until, like I said, 2 weeks ago, with Alexander surpassed them. But you know what I mean? They're gonna be tough to beat. They play good defense. So keep an eye on Coach Welsh and Coach Grimes for that matter. Very well coached. I think Coach Rio is the president of GBCA, but that's neither here nor there. We're talking about basketball, so let me get back to the list. All right, Woodward Academy. You can't overlook the Hayes twins, Jarvis Hayes and his brother. What's his brother's name? Excuse me, y'all. Miles Hayes are electric. You can't forget about Bentley Luceno. This team, man, they shoot the free throw well. A lot of high school teams, that's part of their Achilles heel. Can you shoot the free throws down the stretch? Can you make your opponent pay for fouling you, either intentionally or unintentionally, and put you at the line? And to me, when you shoot the free throw for this team at a team average 73%, that's getting the job done. And I also want to bring up, this is the only team, every one other team in 5A that's played Gainesville so far has lost to them by 52-51 on the road up there in Gainesville. We all know how long of a drive it is from the Southside Wood Academy to Gainesville. So a 1-point loss to them is going to be big. They got that in the back of their mind. You know, Coach Gibbons and the Red Elephants have that in the back of their mind. So, like I said, when you have Miles Hayes and Jarvis Hayes, that big playability to, be firecrackers on the court, anything can happen. Now, I don't want to skip over Woodward Academy or finish talking about them without talking about Bentley Luceno. Bentley Luceno is, as advertised, only averaging 14 points per game, but he does so much for this team in terms of just blocking shots, rebounds, high IQ plays, making the right plays. I expect this team to be in the Final Four for sure, and if not in the championship, very much in the thick of things. So that's my take on Woodward Academy. Dutchtown at number 5. As I've said, man, this is the Jonesboro of 5A, Southside team. They're gonna let you know. I watched the film just recently when they played at Hillgrove. They're an interchangeable team, like I said, just by every team in the country. They're gonna have everybody pretty much who kind of handle the ball, even down to your 4, your 5. They can handle the ball. A little undersized in the post, but they have guys who can catch and shoot, who can rebound collectively, very gritty. That's just what you're gonna get on the side. You're gonna get on the south side. You're gonna get guys who are gritty. You're gonna get guys who can shoot the ball at not any level, but everybody can put a shot up. Not sure what the shooting percentages are for everybody, but this team is an undersized team. They're going to be gritty. If they can turn you over and they can get in transition and get hot early, watch out. Watch out. I will say that. This is a team that also kind of reminds me of Noonan, right? Everybody can kind of get active, get busy in their own right, but coaching is going to be the deciding factor in this classification. So we'll move on to Johns Creek. Like I said, I saw them this summer. Actually, when I did that content with Noonan, that's who they were playing. But this is a team, like I said, they got good wings, got good guards, very well coached. They're going to make the right plays with the basketball. So this is a very good team. Milton, I think Naj did a good job talking about Milton. Milton's probably the team that I'm least educated about, other than the fact that this is a name brand school. So again, Naj, I'll give the floor to you, man. Just say what you just said about Milton and why you think this team can be dangerous down the stretch.
Oh, just the pedigree, man. A lot of young guys got experience, as I was alluding to before. You got Solomon Brand, who's a heavily recruited 27, as kind of your big, really good guard play, as they always usually have. And they got a coach that's been there. He's always scheduled tough. They've played some of the tougher teams. They're playing a tough region. They get to see Gainesville multiple times, and that's kind of a rivalry, as we talked with Coach Gibbons. Just how good relationship, obviously those coaches have, how they go back and forth. So Milton's a team that they've been there, done that. They play in the Nike Classic. They're actually going to play Johns Creek on Friday night tomorrow at 7:30, which would be a really good game. Obviously for region seeding and things like that. But you look, they played against Decatur, lost by 10, 65-55. So they play Holy Innocents. I know they're not the same team, but they won that game 65-51. They've played the Archbishop Carrolls, the Bishop O'Connells, teams like that just to prepare them, for this stretch run. So, they did lose the Johns Creek earlier. They did lose the Gainesville earlier, but all in single digits. So they've been right in those games, right? So now it's just being able to figure that part out and being able to get those wins as well. And then they scheduled, obviously, Meadow Creek. That's an out of region game, which will be good. Meadow Creek's doing really well this season. So yeah.
100%. Just to give this some names for the people. I believe his name is Christian Cooper. Tatum Holmes was a guard who really stood out to me when I saw them this summer. Can get in his bag, turn around, jump shot, go left and right, big guard. I taught 6'5". So this team has length. You know what I mean? Let me go through a couple more. They got 6'6" forward. Like I said, Tatum 6'5". I believe they got to commit to Oglethorpe. He might be he's 6'1". But this team, like I said, they're going to rebound. I mean, they're gonna move the ball around very well. Very good system team. If I could, I'm sorry, we're on Milton. I'm talking about Johns Creek. Forgive me, y'all. No, this is a good team, Milton. Let me just go back and stay in order. My bad, fellas. My bad, Naj.
All good.
Let's see. All right, Langston Hughes. Very good team. Very good team. I got to see them play against Noonan. Like I said, the lead guard went out, but again, Langston, gritty team. To me, though, a little undersized. And I think when you have, and we'll see it when we break down the Noonan versus Langston film, if you can attack them with their size and get them in foul trouble, I think you can get Langston into a heap of trouble. But one thing I can say about this group, their guard play is electric and is as strong as anybody's. One of the guards reminded me of Milton's guards a couple years back. I think it was last year, the lead guard. They got guards that can beat you off the dribble, get you to the one dribble pull up, and they can get it done. Let me get the wing player number 5, you probably seen him. I highlighted him on the network. KJ Agnew, 8 for 10 versus Noonan, 7 rebounds, 20 points. So this is a team that can shoot you out the gym if you're not careful. But again, their size, front court and back court can be an Achilles heel for them. But if they get hot, watch out. And we talked about Woodstock under Coach Eric Blair. They got guards they can get after you. They're well coached, very savvy. They're going to play defense. And they're 18-2. That's matter of fact, as we talk about it, let me pull up their schedule. Woodstock. One second, y'all. We're copying links and going to links to make the viewer experience smooth. You see how I just pulled that up? You didn't even know what I was doing on the back end. That's why you tune into the Just Sizzling News Podcast, man. All right. 9-1 in the region, 19-2 overall. Beat Chapel Hill, very good Chapel Hill basketball team in 6A at home. Beat Marietta. Beat Sprayberry. We forget. I mean, I'm sure Sprayberry is a different team, but Sprayberry last year put Gainesville out of the playoffs in the first round. Beat Westlake is a top 10 team in 6A. So, like I said, man, this Woodstock team is very good. They lost to Alexander at home by 10. That's nothing to ignore there. But again, like I said, Alexander is a athletic long team. It may have been off shooting night for Woodstock. Let's see, beat Sprayberry twice, beat Poe, beat River. So they have Who they had? They got Sequoia, River Ridge, last year left up. They probably clean that up, sweep that. But Woodstock is a very good team. Let's go back to 10. Let's go back to the list and talk about top 10 or recently in the top 10, the Newton Cougars. So when it comes down to Newton, man, again, a very well coached Coach Gatz, Coach Wilkins, Coach Drip, Coach Wallace, Coach Mario. Very good team. To me though, I see the guards ball handling. Ball handling for me is an issue. But this is a very well coached team. They know how to move the ball around. This is a very good shooting team. If you can shoot the ball in every game, this is a team that's similar, like I said, very similar to Dutchtown, but when you have Linda Thomas in the middle at 6'8", maybe 6'6", 6'8", you can rebound the ball. You know what I mean? JB is 6'5", 6'8". Jalen Brown is 6'5". Yeah, Jalen Brown is 6'5". He can crash the boards. Like I said, this team shoots the ball well. Like I said, when I said you can shoot the ball well, that's a good thing. Now, people are talking about they haven't played a big schedule or a competitive schedule. Only tough team they played so far has been Langston Hughes, and they lost. And to me, it comes down to just for that team of turn on that killer instinct. Like I said, they had the size advantage against Langston. They lose their lead guard, have to exploit that. And from listening to the coaches, and I'm saying in the huddle, they were telling them that. But as a player, you got to take that upon yourself and do that. So just to wrap it up, and I'll be long with it, Noonan is very good. They can shoot the ball at elite level. As a team to watch, as a team they keep winning. They got Dutchtown coming up. They got Langston coming up again. It's a team that, like Naj said, could potentially be where Langston or Milton is. And when you get to the playoff, anything can happen. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the breakdown of the top 10 teams in 5A. All right, go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Top 10 teams in 5A. Stick with us, and we'll bring y'all more coverage. We'll probably do 6A next week or 4A. You know what I mean? 6A is kind of no-brainer. We now know Will's gonna win, but I'm gonna stand there for you, brother. You got something pulled up.
For sure. So this top 25 Georgia basketball rankings, Mark Millies did a good job on this, but he ranked everybody regardless of classification. Wheeler at 1, Gainesville, very high at number 2, Grayson, 17-1, number 3, Alexander, we talked about 19-2 at 4, McEachern 5 at 16-4, Woodstock 19-2. I like them at number 6, Norfolk Coney 7, Westover down there in Macon or Albany, 19-1. St. Pius X is still undefeated. Holy Innocents 18-2, despite not having obviously superstar Caleb Wilson. Johns Creek 18-3, Milton 15-4. Decatur 20-3. That might be a little bit low at 13 in my opinion. 14 Westminster 17-2. Dutchtown 16-4 at 15. Hillgrove 15-6. Number 16 team in the state. Mount Vernon, Woodward, Green Forest, Walton. He has Pebblebrook at 21. Last year 22. Walker 23. Meadow Creek having a really good year 16-5, and North Cobb Christian.
Yeah, I agree with you. Pebblebrook's got some big wins. I believe they beat some of those, one or two of those, or at least one of those 5A teams. But Pebblebrook is interesting. I haven't seen them in person. I know Coach Washington is a great coach. So I think potentially North Cobb could be higher. I'm gonna take the Walker School could be higher to me. I'm gonna take probably North Cobb over Meadow Creek for sure. And go back to the left. Walton, Green Forest, Wood Academy, Mount Vernon, Hillgrove. One more time. Or just go all the way to just get through progressively. Johns Creek, Milton, Decatur. Yeah, definitely. I agree with you, Decatur for sure. Yeah. Not a bad list though. You know what I mean? Not a bad list. Holy Innocent, St. Pius X, Westover, North Coney, Woodstock. Top three solid. I think somebody in 5A beat Grayson 2. Before we exit, what's your thoughts on McEachern?
I think good basketball team. They just got back Carter Lumpkin, so they've been carrying the fort down without him. Or Chase Lumpkin. I said Carter. Chase Lumpkin, excuse me. But he just returned back from injury. I think he went off for like 20 points in last week. I believe it was when he returned. So I think a team gelling at the right time. They just beat Hillgrove last week.
Yeah.
Obviously that's a little rivalry out there in Powder Springs, and obviously out that way in Georgia. So I thought that was obviously a big win for them. Um, 9-1 in a region. They lost to obviously Wheeler. Link Academy is a really good basketball team. Alexander, we know how good they are, and then they lost to Pebblebrook. So, but overall, I think they've played some good teams, got a couple good wins on their resume, and I think they've been handling business.
Nah, 100%. It will be interesting, man. I'd love to see. Yeah, some will call me crazy. You don't want to see Gainesville versus Willard, but that'd be an interesting matchup. 1 and 2. You know what I mean? If we and it's too late in the season, that we'll never know until the summer, or if we ever see that, even in the summer. But yeah, this man. So let's see. Next segment was going to be the film breakdown. We'll go through Langston versus Newton. Chop that up, man. Well, the guys will give you the viewers our take on that game. I think these will be good going forward. Oops. Yeah, this will be good going forward. We'll games. All right. So here's let me get these names. See what I'm talking about, man? This smooth pull up right there. Just turn over there. That's what I mean by ball handling. Muted. To me, and one more thing, as we'll see in a couple plays out here on the wing. Jackson Drag, to me, is going to be X factor for Noonan moving forward. I think he's going to be able to knock down a lot of big shots. Last night against this Northgate, I think he knocked down maybe three or four threes. I think 3 threes last night. Again, like I said, this team shoots the ball very well. As they continue to gel and shooters knock down shots, it's going to be a tough team to beat. So he's not going to make this jump shot, but he'll make the next one. But again, in and out, man. He's on the cusp of really cutting out. I won't say cutting out the nets, but of really making big shots at big moments for them. Jalen Brown gets to the cut better than just as good as anybody in 5A. A football player by trade. I asked him. I said, JB, how you do you balance a basketball during the off season? He's like, nah, big. I just come on the floor and start playing, man. So that just lets you know what type of that lets you know what type of caliber of athlete he is to go from the football field and pick up the basketball and earn trust from his coaches and let him run the show pretty much as the lead guard for this team. Exclusive Productions. You'll see JB there, 6'5". You'll see him use his length. There we go. Andre Jernigan. Andre Jernigan is number 2 for Langston. Back tap. Here it is. No, is this it? No, it's in there. What's his name? Eric Coleman is 11 for Noonan. Here's Addison Dyson, number 1. So right here we see we got a high pick and roll on Eric Cole. I believe he's gonna deny it. Pull up. But again, a team of guards that knows how to get to the spots at any moment and stop on a dime. You never know whether they're gonna go left or right here. Oh, talking about Langston here, you got Jalen Britt passing the ball down to Langston. Kick ball, I believe. Transition to a free throw. Great block here by Eric Cole. So I've called him one of the best two-way defenders in 5A, and I think this film, if you've seen the full film, or by midway through this, we may not watch the whole thing. I just want to give people a good look at kind of what I've seen during this game. And feel free to tell me to stop and hit the space bar if you see anything as well. No look pass. And to me, that's like when I access the Langston bigs, I didn't see too much action from them down the post. Though I did like this pivot, but I think that you know what I'm saying. If your role is to be a scorer, you can say it's a double team here, but you have right here you have a bounce pass, some kind of way to 5. The spacing's kind of messed up in the paint, you know what I mean. But if you're offensive minded, you're going to attack either left or right here, but nonetheless decides to kick it out for an open jump to Andre Jernigan. Like I said, big time shot maker. Denies it. Then we got JB here, Jalen Britt. He's going to deny the screen, go opposite, go baseline for a floater. Got a smooth right hand miss there, but that right hand is there. There's a lot of fire in that right hand for sure. Eric Coleman beats a lot of guys off the dribble, finds Jackson drag, and one for sure. And one to the line. So, like I said, Noonan can attack you in a lot of ways. They cut to the basket very good.
Seems like their bigs don't know what to do with it when they get it for Langston.
Yeah.
They're kind of disheveled a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like they a little bit more, I guess you're saying hesitant, a little bit more like but like a very guard dominant team to me. And they kind of rely on that.
Exactly. Like I think it's coming up. 23, the post where he had a pass. I thought it was on the guard. I thought it was on number 5, but it ended up going like chest high. He just wouldn't. I don't know if he wasn't looking for it, just missed it. But I mean, that's gonna, like I said, that's gonna be something for Langston to look at going forward. I mean, Andre is nasty, bro. That's where he hurt his wrist, and that's where he exited the game first quarter. But as we'll see, the resilience of Langston Hughes to still get the job done. But to me, we'll see here. Like Landon should have had a lot more dunks or just a lot more paint touches, which again is what the coaches were talking about. Let's see. Back it up. One dribble pull up. That's not even from a lead guard there, number 3. But just like I said, that's just like you said. Now, a team that's very guard dominated. Right here, this is the teaching moment for a lot of the guards, man. Of course, you know what I'm saying. We want to break the press up the middle. CJ finds himself. I mean, you're gonna come to the upper wing in this kind of corner here, right? This is what guards are gonna do, whether it's a bad or good play. But this just happened to be where a scenario where number 1. Let me show you this name. I think this is it's Addison. Might be number 3. You know what I mean? He had the IQ, which again points back to the IQ of Langston Hughes guards. Realize he's in a pinch here. Most of the team for Noonan, I think, is still in the backcourt. I believe this is Landon over here, but 3 guards are around him. So immediate trap. You know what I mean? And all the south side teams are gritty. Forces a jump ball, and I believe the arrow pointed to Langston here. So ball goes to Langston. But again, here, this is why. Well, number 5 is pretty decent size, but this is a bad miss by JB. You know what I mean, for better or for worse. But again, you see the size of the Langston Hughes guards. You got to attack downhill. Probably 4 or 5 more clips, ladies and gentlemen. I just kind of want to give y'all a general feel. If you want to see the film, you can go on Bacon and Naj and watch the full game. This is Addison here again. Goes with the screen, a legal screen there. Let's watch that again. What you think now? You think that's a legal screen? He kind of slid.
A little bit, but you could have let that play.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have let that play. That wasn't that bad to me.
Yeah.
Tic tac.
JB gets downhill. When JB goes downhill, man, a lot of success. There's Jackson drag again. Bottom, man. Barely touched the net. See what I'm saying right there?
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking it was on. I think it was on KJ. Went straight through his arms. The same play here again. You know, when we're tired of editing, sometimes you put in the same clips. KJ down here again. Great shooting team from 35. Misses that one, but again, if you're gonna have the nuts to pull it up, you know you could probably hit that shot. Cold top of the key, steps. But again, I like that though. Even though it was you could say forced shot or he missed the shot, still having the wherewithal to attack the interior, attack the smaller guard. Though KJ has some size, I like how Cole gets down here and gets to the interior. Fast break. Somebody's got to start ball a little better than that. Get the foul. Langston ball on the side or on the inbound. Kicks it back out. Turnover. Again, Cole there. One of the best two-way players in 5A. Gets downhill again. Gets the foul. Couple more. That's number... Size again, man. One more. We let it ride. If y'all like this, we'll continue to. Actually, we're going to do it anyway, man. I just like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like this is a good element to the show. So we'll run it at least 3 or 4 more times. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's not talk off camera if we like these. But this way, I mean, want to show that, you know what I'm saying? We know the game as well.
Oh, nice pass.
Yeah,
that was a nice play. It's a great pocket pass right there. Probably one of the better clips I've seen. Right there. Good spin off, draw the defender. That was excellent.
Great finish. It's a deep jumper. I think he gets a foul right there. Yeah, he kicked his leg out. Great IQ by JB. We see it all the time in the league. Players kicking that leg out, and the ref's going to reward you with that whistle blow. One more. I know I said one more last time, but we'll do one more. KJ Agnew from deep. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the film on it, man. If y'all enjoyed that, definitely let us know. We're going to continue to do those for probably like the next. We may do this for the remainder of the season into the playoffs, man. But if y'all like them, we'll continue to do that going forward. So again, let us know in the comments. Or if you see us out in the public, like, hey man, I like what y'all doing because we need more activity and more engagement in the comments. But that's neither here nor there. All right. Moving on to.
Hold on. Before we go to comments, I gotta give it. All right. So I do this for Coach Wallace. He's always tuned into the show. Goes back and he watches them. So where's it? All right, Coach. This is for you, man. Got to shout him out, man.
Definitely.
Grant Robich hit 1,000 career points. He's obviously tagged us, Coach. So we want to give him a shout out on the show, man. Great guard for North Cobb Christian. Like we said, still think you guys are very underrated. But doing things in the private classification have shown that y'all going to be a team to watch. Outstanding performance in his last game and continuing to churn along, man. So I want to give Grant Robich Obviously, a shout out. And then how about Xavier Butler also hitting 1,000 career points? We talked to him. Zay is probably one of their best players. Slam dunker. This does a whole bunch of different things. Bacon and plays obviously at a high level. And Bacon, I'd be remiss if I didn't show this clip. This is, I believe, Xavier Butler, and we can both react to this. But a nasty slammer jammer right here, windmill time him. You know what I'm saying? So, wanting to give Xavier Butler a shout out on the show. Coach obviously gave us this clip, man. But outstanding job right here, man. Nice windmill slam.
Nah, definitely, yeah. Zay's in that. I mean, that's too easy, man. You know what I mean? Windmill like that from pretty much from the volleyball line. This is why North Carolina Christian is gonna be nice in the class especially potentially. Could be a Final 14 for sure. And can't forget about Garrison too, man. One of the best shooters. Prides himself on playing defense. You know what I mean? Does little things to get himself recruited. So for those two young men to cross the 1,000-point threshold mark, just tip the cap, man. I mean, just another thing or something on the board that you're doing the right thing. So shout out to the program. Shout out to Coach for always tuning in, supporting the show, man. Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Coach Wallace. You better put your name out there, Coach Wallace.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, brother.
College basketball. We're going to be talking the top three players, or just three players who's caught our attention. That's not of the big three. The big three. I mean, you can say big six or whatever, but the big three: AJ DeBond.
Best freshman class, buddy.
What's up?
Best freshman class, buddy.
Best all time.
I think it's in that conversation.
Yeah, I can say yeah.
Everybody's doing. I think the other night it was what 340-point scores.
Yeah. You're right about that. I like that. Actually, you're right. Kid from Illinois, Darius Acuff, DeBonsa. Did Caleb Wilson get a 40 ball?
No, he had 20. But he's 20. In that list.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. I like that, brother. We got Coach Wallace. Keep doing what y'all do. Appreciate you, Coach. Appreciate you too.
We tried to get Kip on, Coach, but they didn't respond back. We both tried. I reached out. Bacon reached out.
On the low.
Yeah, on the low. So we wanted to tell you. We did try to reach out, but we appreciate you as always, Coach.
Definitely, man. If you got any hard critiques from that film breakdown, you let me know, Coach. You're like, Becky, you gotta see this, man. Let me know, Coach.
Yeah. But no, your top three back to college basketball. Yeah, I mean, obviously you mentioned your three. I think my three that doesn't get enough attention. I would go Obuka Okori. He plays for Stanford. He's having an outstanding freshman season. I think he's doing a lot of different things well, this year. And I know Stanford's kind of a bubble team this year, but the way he's been, scoring the basketball at a high level, he's been taking over the game in the ACC. So I think he's been doing an outstanding job. So like I said, outside the big three, I think, he's doing really good as a true freshman. Is it just freshman related? No. Okay. Isaiah Evans is another one. I think what he's been doing this season, flamethrower, he's really embodying that team. And obviously Cameron Boozer gets all the credit, and I get it. But his development has been, huge this year. And we said we wanted to see him have a bigger role, and he is. He's shining. He stayed down through the mud, and, he didn't, allow it to affect him. Him not seeing the court a lot last year. And I think he's been doing an outstanding job. So I wanted to come on the show and obviously give him credit too, as my number two. My number three in hoops. Yeah, I'm going to go Darius Acuff. Let me make sure you didn't have him. Yeah, I'm going to go Darius Acuff. I think he's doing a great job. And they've even saying that he could be Calipari's best guard he's had. And he's had a lot of good ones. Malik Monk, the De'Aaron Fox, the Devin Bookers, the John Walls. You can go back days and days and days. So he's doing a great job right now. 20 points per game. I think six assists. Only about less than 2 turnovers a game. So those are my three that's been standing out.
That's tough. I like Darius Acuff, but I'm such a big D Rose fan. Just got his jersey retired. I think it was the last week. You know what I mean? So the reason why I like Rose, man, or Derrick Rose, man, just so humble. They showed it they showed it everywhere, but they showed him before the night before or whatever more than before. He's like, damn, man, I'm about to be up there with those guys. Still under the pressure, like, man, I'm just a kid from, I think he's from Inglewood, Inglewood, Chicago, man. So we got to love Derrick Rose and this journey and this whole story of how he still gets back. Got to see him in Atlanta when the Hawks went to the Eastern Conference Finals. They played the Knicks before they played the Bucks. Got to see him drop 30 in person, man. So that was a special night. But my three are number one, Trey Donaldson for Miami. Oh my goodness! Last year at Michigan, year before that was at Auburn. Man, he's if Trey Donaldson goes down for Miami, Naj squad, Naj is a Hurricane fan, big U. But I mean, if he goes down, I'm not sure if they can go as far as they will. Trey Donaldson, I think he's averaging. Like, let me see what he's averaging. But just comes through in the clutch with him. Always gets those big shots at the right time to stop big runs. You know what I mean, a lead guard doesn't really turn the ball over too much. Can get downhill, makes tough layups.
Average 16 a game.
Averaging 16 a game, 6.2 assists. Yeah, I mean, he's big time, man. He's gonna make some NBA team very happy. As a senior this year from Tallahassee, Florida. ESPN a clip you. 6'3" guard from Tallahassee, Florida, shooting the ball 46, almost 56% from the field goal. Shooting at 78.2% from the free throw line, man. So that's big. That's big. 2.1 turnovers, 16 points per game, 6 assists. That's getting the job done. Number two for me is Thomas. I think it's Thomas Howell. Some people say Hugh. I think it's Thomas Howell. That's what the analysts say. Thomas Howell, man, for Florida, number 10. Oh my God, Naj. If you haven't seen him, man, he didn't get a lot of playing time early on for Florida. But I watched him. I think they played Auburn. I turned on the game. I said, man, who is this? I didn't remember seeing him on the floor at the beginning of the season, but man, I mean, the way he's explosive, he's gonna shoot the ball. He's a junior.
He played a big role last year, and they them winning. He wasn't like the main piece. It was obviously their guard Walt Clayton Jr. But he played big minutes in the tourney.
So he stood out to you a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even last year, I mean, it wasn't nothing like crazy, but he was getting important rebounds, defensive possessions, blocking shots. He played a key role last year for Florida. So I think this year, just the role is more defined. They brought in a couple new players, lost a few, so he has more of a bigger role this year, which is why he's standing out. But he was big. They had a little stretch. They won they had three AP top 25 wins. You know, they beat like some of the best. You know, and then they were struggling early on in the season. I remember. But yeah, he's been a big component for them this year, along with Boogie Flan, obviously. But he's been massive.
Yeah, man, he's massive. 6'9", 215, man.
Yep.
Averaging 17.4 per game. But yeah, he's a firecracker, man. If he gets going, it's tough to beat, man. Just complete game. I'll just leave it at that complete game. Now I pretty much gave it a synopsis, but complete game. Next time you turn on the TV to watch Florida, you don't have to look for number 10. He's gonna make sure you know where he is. Number 3 for me, Donnie Freeman, Syracuse. He hasn't played enough. If you look at,
Been doing your research, brother.
What'd you say?
You've been doing your research.
Hey, I've been tapping in. I've been watching basketball. I was like, man, I said, man, Becky, you know, man, you can be talking about you can be talking basketball, and over the course, I'm a basketball watcher. I'm a basketball junkie, but you know what I mean, we're doing so much editing and things like that, running and gunning. I don't get time to watch as much basketball as I once had. But this is a time where I got to. All right, Becky, well, you edit at least turn on. You can't do both because you got to study. So, but for lack of being long-winded, yeah, I've been in the lab, but he's been getting the job done. He's only played 12 games, so he hasn't qualified for like people who want to show up on the stat list. But averaging 19.2 points per game at one point in time, was a highly touted recruit coming out of the DC area. Man, we got to put some more respect on the DMV. 19 points per game, 7.4, 1.5 assists. Big body, man, who can shoot the ball at elite levels. Got some post game. I want to see bigger guards get back to work. I mean, which we are seeing. Kudos to Shea Gilgeous, and many other guards. There's A-Cuff. A lot of these league guards are forward to working in the post again. But if you're younger and coming up watching this, man, get back in the post, man. You just way more versatile. You can pass. You see what Jokic is doing. I mean, you can add that to your game. But Donnie Freeman to round out my three as the players who are not in the big three, not in the top three, but are getting the job done on their team and could be in that top three. Neither here nor there. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. If you agree, let us know. If you don't agree, definitely let us know too. And who is your top three that's not in that getting that top three attention? All right, Naj, but we gotta touch on some touchy stuff, man. Yeah, we'll bring up Coach Teagle, man. At Dunk Was Fire, he's talking about man, Xavier Butler from North Carolina Christian. That Dunk Was Fire, man. Kid's an athletic monster, athletic menace. But we got to talk about Georgia Tech, man, and not. And at this point, man, we got to start looking at Coach Stod, man. Got to start looking. I know he didn't. He's still building the program up, but at this point, I'm hoping the recruits stay, man. Because
I mean, they signed at this point. You have to get out of the letter of intent.
Oh, they signed. Good, thank God.
Yeah, it's over with. It's different kind of thing with basketball. When they recruit and come up, usually they're signed. Now the other ones will wait around, like some 2026s high have not signed, but yeah, those like Job signed and then Wingfield signed too.
Yeah, okay. Like I said, thank God. But I mean, you beat NC State, which is a good win. That's a good club. Or good. Quad one win. That was massive on the road when you beat them. They beat
prior to
that, but they lost.
They picked up some good ones. They got some losses, but I mean that's a top team. They'll be probably like an 8 or 9 seed in the tourney.
Yeah, ACC tourney.
No, I'm talking about the tourney.
Oh, you talking about NC State? Yeah. For sure. They'll be it now. But Tech, what's your take on Tech? Do you think this year is unsalvageable?
I don't see it unless they go on a win streak. But I mean, they got North Carolina on Saturday. Sold out game. You play Caleb Wilson, but who's going to have an answer for him? Virginia didn't have an answer for him when they played them. They were one of the top teams. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I just not trying to. I think Tech has the talent. I just don't think the talent matches. I don't want to say talent. No, I don't think the development matches the talent that they have. I don't necessarily want to say the coaching, but it doesn't match up. Like you have 4-star. Like I think Akai got hurt last game with maybe a tailbone injury. He didn't play. But you have one of the better shooters. Last game only had 3 3-pointers made. They went 3 for 17. You go and literally they went and hit Virginia Tech in the mouth. They're up 9-0. You know what I'm saying? And then Kraft is on fire. He scores 11 points. He doesn't score a single field goal in the second half. Right now, I like the development and growth of Jaden Mustaf. I think he's been great. He's had his second double so far in the past 3 or 4 games. So he's been getting better in a spark off the bench, but you just don't have enough scoring. I think Kawasi Reeves is your leading scorer, but just the inconsistency is in the inconsistency. Only had 8 points on 4 of 8 shooting. Bai Dongo is supposed to be again another big time season for him, coming back, all ACC selection preseason. It just feels like he's stagnated. His game hasn't really taken that jump in 3 seasons. Now he's a good defensive presence and he rebounds well. He defends, I'll give him that, but it's like his game hasn't taken that next jump, that evolution. Cole Kurak is getting good minutes. As the season is going on, he's obviously trusts him more. Davey Ragaman is starting to get some more minutes as well, defensively for him. But it just feels like the team is not, I don't want to say in sync, but they're just, they have it some nights and then they don't. And I don't know what that is. Like they get up for the good opponents, but then they're playing the lesser teams, they don't. So I don't know. He always says attention to detail is one of the issues, I guess, with the team. But it just feels like the talent that he's brought in. I give him that. He's a hell of a recruiter. He's probably one of the best in the nation, but it just does not match what the product on the court is supposed to look like. And they're just so inconsistent, you know what I'm saying, from a night-to-night basis. You don't know what Georgia Tech team is going to show up. I don't want to say he hit the portal and he didn't get good pieces. I think Lamar Washington is giving you stability at the point guard role, but they turn over the ball too well. They don't shoot free throws well. They nearly lost the NC State game because they couldn't close it out with free throws. It's just a lot of just elements in this team.
If I'm Cam Kraft, I'm looking at Miami of Ohio. I said, "But these boys top 25. Maybe I should have stay where I was at."
Facts. Could have
Dropping,
been helping them.
I don't know, man. I agree with you too. I'm not gonna be long winded on this. I agree with you, man. I don't know if Coach Stoudemire is the. I hate to say it because I really like Coach Stoudemire, great energy. But it's underachieving, man. Tickets as low as $85. The McCammons Pavilion, that lets you know all you need to know about where the Yellow Jackets are at. But 85, you can get in the door. Yeah, tag Bacon and Naj. We'll move on. All right. So shakedown in the ACC, man. Floor George, I'll pull up the ACC standing. While you get going, brother. Obviously Duke is the number one, but as you see it, you know what I mean, where do you think the ACC shakes down going into the tournament? Let's look at this tab. Well, we gotta make sure it's clean for the viewing experience. There we go. So I'll start while Naj looks that up. Like I said, Duke is the head honcho. Clemson 7-1. Clemson is a very well coached team, and this team has made the postseason, has made the tournament. They made it what 3 or 4 years in a row now, something like that. VT solid. They're gonna be gritty. They're gonna shoot the ball well. That's what they hang their hat on in the Commonwealth. But Miami at 6-2. You know what I mean? So what 3-way tie for third place. Miami, Virginia Tech, NC State. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Yeah, I'm right. SMU's been playing some resilient basketball, though not top 25. They've been getting the job done in the ACC. North Carolina, top 16, 4-3 in the ACC. Obviously, I believe they lost to Duke. Let's see. Let me see what else they lost to. Let me know when you're ready, Naj. Now shut up. They lost to SMU. SMU. A lot of people like, man, SMU, man. SMU got some scores, man. You see.
They're a good basketball team.
They put up a lot of points, man.
Yeah, they got a good basketball team.
So, you know what I mean? They lost to SMU. They lost to Cal. I gotta do some more research on Cal. Obviously, I know. Obviously, just where Jaylen Brown was at. Jeremiah Wilkinson, who's now at UGA. Andrei Stojakovic, who was at Illinois, who got cooked by Mr. Smith at Purdue, but nonetheless, he is a good guard. So Cal puts out some good ball players. They've also lost to Stanford. Stanford's got a good guard out there as well. But nonetheless, North Carolina is a top 16 team for very good reason. They may still be missing their lead guard, but if you got Caleb Wilson, that's all you need for Virginia Tech 5-4, ACC, Louisville 4-4. Michael Brown just got back. They lost emphatically to Duke, but the Cardinals will make some noise for the ACC title. Just talked about Cal, Stanford, Syracuse. I like Syracuse. We just talked about that. We just talked about Donnie Freeman. We know they got Cayenne Anthony. They got what's the other young man that played at IMG as a freshman? Can't remember his name, but they're a good team. They're still playing that 2-3. It's not as good as when Jim Boeheim was there, but they play a solid 2-3. Got some interior post players who can pass, who can get to a bucket. Syracuse is a team that's gotten good progressively as the season went on. Boston College. I can't, you know what I mean? They pop in and get good wins here and there. Pittsburgh, Wake Forest. Wake Forest is decent. Georgia Tech is a wild card, man. We just talked about them. I feel like this team, if they can get things on track, they can beat anybody in the ACC. We see what type of game they played against Duke. I think they only lost by maybe 6 or 8 points. but what Georgia Tech team, as Naj alluded to, will show up. Notre Dame hadn't been right in a while. Florida State, I like their young head coach. You know what I mean? Marcus Curry, who's been on everything, said he enjoyed his time at the unofficial visit. But in terms of basketball, this team, it's up and down. Close game against Florida, rivalry game at home or at Florida. So I mean, they're a team that is inconsistent. Like Georgia Tech lost emphatically to Georgia, lost to Houston. So you know what I mean. You see a lot of red L's, but this is a team that's rebuilding. I like the way the young head coach is coming in. 9-12, 14th in the ACC. The record, their conference and overall record speaks for themselves. But go ahead, brother. I say you could talk a long time ago, man.
Nah, you're good. No, I was looking up like the net ranking, seeing where it was loaded at, and then there's three models they use. They use BPI, Basketball Power Index, the strength of schedule, which is another big one that the NCAA uses. Then they use net rankings. So I was just looking at that, seeing what Joe Lunardi had pulled up as well. Obviously this is what he has. And I'm gonna pull yours back up in a second, Bacon. You can leave it. But this is what obviously Joe Lunardi has messed up his name. But he had California out, so I was trying to see where they were ranked at, like the net, the BPI, and all that good stuff. But they're on the outside looking in at the current moment. One of the few ACC schools. Miami is one of the last four in. Miami, when you look at them, and obviously their net ranking, they're number 36, which actually is not bad at all. But then when you look at them in terms of where they rank at BPI, they're 41, and then where they rank far as the SOS. For the schedule, they're 103. So strength of schedule was hurting them right now. And they're 0-3 in quality wins. So that's kind of the difference. But going back, obviously, to what you have pulled up, Bacon, in terms of
You want to pull it up? Oh, you got it.
There we go. But in terms of this, right? Ranked teams. Obviously North Carolina was not ranked. Or no, yeah, they ranked number 16. But in terms of the teams that are good, I think Clemson's a pretty good basketball team. You know what I'm saying? Inside and out, they should be just fine. I like Virginia. Virginia's probably my number 2. I like them over Clemson, in my humble opinion. I think Virginia's very deep. They got to work out, the big man role in terms of Johan Grunlow has to play a lot better than what he's playing. He's been getting kind of abused a little bit. Chester Ritter just had a career high, 32 points in a win over Notre Dame, which I know they struggled in that game a little bit. But very good guard play. You look at Dallin Hall. You look at Sam Lewis, who had 21 points in the last game. He played at a very high level. He's been very good for Virginia this season. You look at Malik Thomas. He's been playing pretty well. Chance Mallory, the true freshman, has been playing good as well for them. But I think a team that's deep and can make some noise, in my opinion. Duke is Duke. We know what they got, man. All the people they have. Caleb Foster, Cameron Boozer, Caden Boozer, Isaiah Evans, Ngongba. We know who they have. Duke's going to be a problem. I think the best bet to knock them off, though, will be the Virginia Cavaliers. Miami, we talked about them, Trey Donaldson. They just have to stack a couple more wins. The strength of schedule does not help them. So they got to start getting quality wins now. 0-3 in the AP poll. Excuse me, against AP opponents is not going to cut it. You know what I'm saying? Virginia hasn't had a lot of those matchups. They went 1-1. They lost to North Carolina. They picked up a road victory. So they just got to add more of those to the docket for them. And obviously, quad 1 wins. NC State, even though they have 6 losses, sit in a pretty good spot. When you look at their net, you look at obviously everything that they have. They've been playing at a very high level this year. So a team you definitely got to look out for. Darian Williams leads them. SMU is a pretty good basketball team, I would say, as well. They're performing good. Got to get some more AP top 25 wins, I would say, to build their resume. But for North Carolina, that win last weekend against Virginia, and again, they probably shouldn't have won. It was big for them. It wasn't just Caleb Wilson. They got a lot of other contributions from Tyreek Stevenson. He played at a high level for them, and they were down by, I think, as much as like 15 points. And was able to find a way to get a win. Virginia Tech's kind of that big bubble team right now in the ACC. In terms of if they're going to get in or not. Nearly lost it to Georgia Tech. Got Neil Killis, Alvarez. Probably one of the top rated prospects next year's draft. Probably be a lotto pick. Him and Ben Hammond has been playing well so far for Virginia Tech. We'll see if they can figure it out along with Grudak. You look at Louisville. Michael Brown's been in and out of the lineup. Louisville's trying to obviously stay, in the fight. A ranked team, one of the few ranked teams in the ACC. 5 of them are ranked right now. So they got to start picking up a couple more wins. Right now, I believe they are 2-5 against the AP poll. So they got to start racking up some wins for them. And then California and Stanford are kind of those bubble teams, right? They're going to have a great run, be able to separate. I don't see Syracuse making the tournament, unfortunately, unless they win the outright ACC, which is possible. They get a little non-seed bid, but they would have to win it in order to get it. Boston College, I don't think makes it. Pitt, I don't think they make it either. Wake Forest, even though they've had a decent season, 11-10, 2-6 in the ACC, it's not going to be good enough to make it. Georgia Tech, same thing. Any of those teams, Notre Dame, Florida State, they're going to have to win the ACC tournament to even get in. So I would say a solid, if you ACC, you probably have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, solid 7 teams that should get in, probably like 2 bubble teams. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what happens. But a solid 7 should make the tournament from the ACC, which is a step up from last year.
Yeah, facts for sure. Well said, brother. Last thing, man. Notre Dame, man. Notre Dame. You got your basketball team in the ACC. If you just put your football team in the ACC, you're in the playoffs, big dog. Come on now. Show some love. But
that's where all the other sports, they're in that, except football. Like I said, they did it for the COVID year, but I guess they felt too good for the ACC. So I was like, yeah, we'll just go independent. So.
And it cost you. I'll leave it there, man. Great breakdown, brother. Great breakdown. All right, man. The Fighting Illini beat Purdue on the road due to a phenomenal, let me get his name, phenomenal freshman performance. 1 second, man. Try to have my game tight. This one I'm slipping. Teams. Fighting Illini. Where you at, man? Purdue. Let's just go find Purdue. Purdue's Big Ten. All right. Here we go. All righty. Wagler had 46. I believe that's the most points scored by a freshman. I think at Illinois, or just in that gym period. So phenomenal win, 88-82. I'll give my thoughts, and I'll throw it to Naj. To me, it was a heavyweight bout. Illinois, I can't remember what they should move inside the top 10 whenever we do the rankings. They haven't already. But Keaton Wagler, 46. Braden Smith, 27 points. 11 for 16 was pretty much having his way. Cook Stojakovic. But this is a heavyweight bout, man. It came down to who's going to make the most buckets. The Fighting Illini are a great shooting team. They rebound well. This game could have went either way, but you know what I mean. I don't think they were expecting the freshman to go for 46. I think they were expecting him to have a good game. 46 is astronomical. But that's my take on the game. The Fighting Illini are here. Purdue is still a very good team, but they just shot the ball better. What you think about it, Naj?
Yeah, I mean, they did a good job. They dominated the glass, 33-19 advantage, 13-3 advantage on the offensive glass. So keeping opportunities available for them. And then the three-point shooting, plus 11. 18 three-pointers to just 7 for Purdue. And it's crazy because Purdue won the paint, 44-14 advantage. But when you get all those rebounds and you're sparking from three-point range and you shot 47%, yeah, that's going to be pretty tough to beat. And that's exactly what they did. It was just one player, obviously, in Keaton Stigler. But, at the end of the day, they did a good job of crashing that glass and keeping opportunities alive for them, which was obviously the difference, right? They had 4 different players with 7 or more rebounds in that game. You know what I'm saying? That'll do it. You know what I'm saying? That's the buy-in. Uh Markovic, he had 3 offensive boards. You had Izovic, he had 4 offensive boards. So when you have that and you're keeping the ball alive, I mean, you're getting the job done.
Nah, well said, brother. Let me. Yeah, 13-3 office. That's a good job done. Well said, brother. Well said. Shout out to King Stegar, man. Yeah, man. You just got just put up that commitment, 100%. But um, so after that we got Trey Burke, man. Trey Burke won me some money back in high school. Believe it or not, we were betting on who's gonna have the best bracket. I think who won it this year? This 2010. It was Kansas, Louisville. I think this is the same year Kevin Ware broke his femur. I'll never forget it. But I can't remember it entirely. But a lot of people rightfully so. I think Kansas was the #1 seed that year. I think Michigan was a 3 seed. I said, man, Tim Hardaway. I was watching a lot of college basketball then. People didn't really know who Trey Burke was back then. Too tough. I said, man, Trey Burke is gonna get me over the hump. And sure enough, Steph Curry before Steph Curry now. People better put some stain on Trey Burke's name. Shot that ball from 40. Bottom. I said, yes, sir. And that one went along as long as my Final Four. Secured the bag from, I think I won like maybe $30, maybe 30 or $40, but still. So big shout out to Trey Burke, man. Had a very heartfelt message. We won't play because we trying not to get copyrighted, man. We're trying to, you know what I mean, make sure you following all the YouTube guidelines. But find out what makes you happy. Spread more love as people. We need to do more. I said we're explanatory in the times that we are in right now. Not like I said last week, not a political show. But we've all seen the ICE attacks, and we'll leave it there. So shout out to Michigan. Shout out to Trey Burke for retiring his jersey. Great message. And Trey Burke, Steph Curry before Stephen Curry. Just want to put that out there. Let's see. Moving on to NBA news, man. Before we get there, I'm sure, Naj, I want to get your thoughts. If you've seen it, I didn't put it on the topic list because I forgot about it. And we'll talk about the Jordan commentary. I thought Jordan was he's gonna be courtside, he's gonna be commentating, whether it's in the booth, but it pretty much has just been they came out and asking them questions. So I mean, what's your thoughts about Jordan covering the game of basketball?
No disrespect too. You can bring the same thing up for inside the NBA. That was supposed to be a thing for ESPN, and Charles Barkley called it out. They said, "Well, we haven't worked in over 2 months." To your point, Bacon, of only I think twice he said they were Christmas and then they were just off. So I just think to the Jordan point, and to bring up the bigger point for me, I just think that the value of the game, in my extent, say what you want about Charles and Kenny and Ernie and Shaq. But the game is just not fun. I'm trying to bring up a whole bigger point here when we bring up the Jordan aspect.
Take
It
your time.
just feels like they're shutting out like what made the game great, right? With the Jordans, and he should have a bigger role. To your point, Bacon, is that the NBA should have a bigger role. But it's so hard because they're not putting them at the forefront. They're almost on the back burner to a degree. Like you say, you just ask him questions, like let him actually get in there and do it, right? He should be along there with a Tracy McGrady, a Vince Carter, a Carmelo Anthony, and commentating along with Maria Taylor, right? Like if you NBC, you did good because you expanded it, right? You was doing Olympics coverage, you was doing football, Sunday nights, and then now you get basketball added to, what I'm saying, your resume or whatever, to your portfolio of what you cover. So it was a great thing, but it's just like it's so hard to follow. Even me, I struggle, and I was, even when I was back then, I was working. I would find an NBA game to watch. You know what I'm saying? I would find this to watch, but I don't really have the same allure. And I just think it's not necessarily a game. I think part of it's the marketing too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of it is it's so hard. Like, okay, Tuesday night, okay, it's on NBC. Oh, Amazon games on Thursday. ESPN game is on Wednesday, and you'll probably get the prime time on ABC. So it's just like there's not a lot of rivalries. The game's not as good as they were. The passion from the players is, you can kind of tell they're going through the motions. Excuse me. So you just got a product where it's just like it's not watchable. Unfortunately. And I know that's the whole point I brought up a whole soliloquy bacon, which I didn't mean to do, but I think that just ties in with the Jordan thing of just you have to make it to where it's a game people want to watch. And I think for a lot of people, it's not watchable. When you do want to watch, it's tough to see it. You're not putting the former stars into it as much. You know, TNT is no longer doing it. ESPN, you pick it up. It's like the whole thing was for you to distribute their show. They're barely even doing the show. I mean, I get like you got your own thing if you're ESPN, you have NBA Countdown, but why not just make NBA Countdown centered around them? You know, if you have the NBA Finals, right? Let's say, for example, let Charles, let all those guys do up until that point. That's what they've been doing. You know what I'm saying? Or just, if you got 2 games a week, okay, fellas, like y'all gonna come on Wednesdays. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna let the other crew do Fridays. It's just ways you can just I think you can do it better, in my opinion. And I think that the league has struggled with that. And, it's better to have Amazon and, NBC, but it's just like it's so much more stuff we're worried about. It's a lot with the political times that's going on. Not trying to say we're a political show, but people just have a lot on their mind. And I don't think it's just not helping. Like before it'd be something that galvanized you. You'd be like, oh, I want to tune in. It's just not. And a lot of people can't recognize the players either. Like, who is this from what country?
Man, it's a global game, man. You can't.
It is, but for a lot of people, they're like, like, who is that? You know what I'm saying? Unless you,
Who's saying that?
I'm just saying in general, like people don't know, or it's not synonymous. Like they don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't really identify. Hard for them to. I think that's part of what made the game so great. You could identify with a Jordan. You could identify with a, what I'm saying, Isaiah Thomas. You could identify with, a Kobe. I think it's hard for people to identify with some of these players when you can tell their heart's not in it. And then part of it is too the AU game. You almost have to pay. You know what I'm saying, to even get that. It's so hard for you to go and be that story. Oh, where this kid come from? That underground background story, I guess you could say, Bacon. And he made it from the slums, or he made it from this part. Shifted more so towards international. So,
well, yeah, I mean, to answer that marketing question, yeah, I'm gonna start at the grassroots. It all comes down to marketing players. It's a business now. It's a business now, right? I mean, players are getting paid to go to college. Some are getting free gear, whatever, in high school under the table. So ultimately, because we look at the gyms, we look at these basketball gyms. They damn near empty. You got to pay to get in the AAU games. The AAU scene is a lot more crowded, which you force some parents to play, which is a whole other discussion. But the schools, man, they got to do more to market these young players, man. Whether you bring in the content creator, you know what I mean, talking to local businesses, getting them more involved. I know, like, they're just kids, but and maybe it doesn't have to be that far, but I mean, if your gym is empty, I mean, I know schools don't like that. And, I mean, that's all politics too. So it's a political world. We can look at it from the ESPN standpoint. You got to get out. You got to get out of Charles. Mainly Charles. Because Charles gonna let you know, man. He don't care. You got to get out of that show's way. When it was on TNT, they had pretty much an hour and a half post game to do what they wanted to do. Now you look at it, they may have 30, 40 minutes, if that. They cut them.
Great point.
That show is built on give you tidbits or how they play, but more so, it's a show that builds. You know what I mean? Ernie's keeping records. They're talking about, hey, last week, Charles, fool, you said this last week. You don't necessarily get that. Now I've heard, Pop does some. He loves the show. Everybody loves the show. He read an article that said that they're going to be more so loaded on the back end. Charles doesn't like that. Now, me as a viewer, I've always wanted to see inside the NBA cover the finals. We never get that. So, if none the least, if we get that this year, I'll be satisfied. Now, to come on to it being spread out, it's a money play, man. Everybody's trying to get a piece of the pie in athletics, but you got to package it and present it the right way, man. So I'm in agreement with you. Last thing I'll say about it. Oh, I got to talk about the Jordan thing too. It's so much money involved into it, man. And, I mean, I don't have the executive answer for you. We're building, you know what I mean. But it's just unfortunate that money is broken up where people can't galvanize around it. for the Jordan thing, I'm not. We got to see if Jordan really wants to get in the studio. You know what I mean? Because he in that interview where he was talking about some things, he's like, I haven't picked up a basketball in a while. You know what I mean? I pretty much did Airbnb, and the people who we rented the Airbnb from was like, hey man, can I come over and take pictures with you? Long story short, he had to shoot free throws. And he said, man, I was as nervous I've ever been in a long time. Whether that's true or not, the brother's not as locked in on basketball. You know what I mean? He's talking about spending more time with his family. Family's more important. So, I mean, if he wants to, because when you're doing that type of work, you're going to be away from your family. So, if Jordan really wants to do it, it'd be great to bring him in. But if that's what the product was going to be, you know what I mean? Why are we bringing them in? We got to put more attention on the product that we present to the people.
It's a great point.
It's too much of a money and political play these days, which is why independent media is one day.
That's the move right now.
That's the move, man.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to be rude or nothing, but it's really the move. I'll talk about you probably a little bit out off air too, Bacon, about it. But yeah, I think so. I just think it's your platform can't get censored. Like if you're independent, you can talk about whatever you want to talk about. If people start messing with you, they just become unsubscribers. And you just keep it pushing, right? But if people like your message and they support what you're doing and what I'm saying, stuff like that, it's just to me it's hard to take that away. Once you have it, you have it. I mean, obviously you have sponsorships that pay for your show and stuff like that, and they can obviously take that away too, but there's always other sponsors. It just feels like, when it comes to a network, you're more, what I'm saying? Yeah, you can't really skate too much, but when it's your own show, your own platform, that's what it is.
That's a fact. And after this, we'll talk about the whole TikTok thing. That's why I appreciate, Coach Teagle, the whole Noonan basketball, the staff, just to watch me. I appreciate y'all for letting me come in and do what I do. I try to be in and out. If y'all see me last night, I had to help the DJ, break down. But I appreciate y'all letting me come in and just record and document y'all authentically. So when I put out episode 3, it's gonna be amazing. I'm like, okay, I see why. It may not make sense when you see me running around, but I be having my shots in my head when you see the product. Like, okay, I'm saying, he been doing this thing. But to bring up TikTok, as we see, I heard it's been like a big number of people who undownloaded TikTok because of the censorship due to the new owner stepping in, and they're running to. I've downloaded. I'm all about going where the people are because I'm a man of the people. The new app is Upscrolled. One word, Upscrolled is the new app. Is what's going down at, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't created my profile yet, but I do plan on getting on there soon to secure my IP. But now, just what's your thoughts and what's your take on the great migration from TikTok due to the censorship since we're on the topic?
Yeah, I know they talked about it. Obviously, they did a joint venture with the U.S. Obviously bringing it over in order for it to continue to operate here. So obviously that's something that happened. I think a lot of people are probably still going to stay. There's going to be definitely some that will leave. What's the app called? Upscaled?
Upscaled, yes sir. One word. I'll show it to you or to you. Upscrolled, excuse me. Upscrolled.
Upscrolled.
Yes sir.
Okay.
Yes sir. Yes sir, man.
But yeah, I think it's just that they just obviously part of it is being obviously censored to a degree, and then I think a lot's going on. Like they've been down. They said something about data center being hit or something, and they still haven't updated any of the creators' earnings. Like it's almost the end of the month. They haven't paid for the 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th. Yeah, I can attest. Like what I'm saying, because I'm a part of it. 4 days. What I'm saying? It's like, oh, be patient. We're still trying to pull it up, and it's messed with my motivation. Like I usually do like 3 or 4 a day. Me, baking religiously. I always got something out or going on TikTok. What I'm saying, the post. Sometimes I do 7 or 8 a day. But like my motivation, it's not there. It's just like, yo, as much as we put into it, I get it's down, but y'all need to get that fixed. Like, it's like like people say, it's people's livelihood. They can't be messing around, man. People got bills to pay, and a lot of people depend on that. that platform, you know what I'm saying, for that. So I don't know. It's obviously tough to see. Long term, we'll see what happens with TikTok. But like I said, I know for a lot of people, it's hard to want to leave that bag. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll be real, TikTok pays it back. I ain't made no bag yet, but I can tell if you got 100,000 followers and you're getting all of them, on your videos, you can make some good coin. And then sponsorships and brand part can, but they definitely gonna have to figure that part out. And I would say the new leadership that's in administration, it's not something you want to rub the wrong way. Like, so I would try to keep what TikTok has had. I wouldn't try to do all these, changes, and obviously got to keep upgrading the company. But that TikTok has always been an app people feel is for the people. You can learn stuff. You go and you start messing with that. Yeah, good luck trying to get that base back.
Yeah, you don't want to ruin your brand.
Yeah.
You don't want to ruin your brand.
Yeah.
But last topic, we'll get up out of here, y'all. We appreciate everybody kind of staying loyal, sticking with the bros, even though we ain't the bros. We ain't no old niggas. You know what I mean? We Naj and Bacon, going places, seeing the world, and doing things you never heard of, but probably want to see. So stay tuned for the BTS. But uh Antonio Blakely, and Blakeney, excuse me. We keep bringing up the sports gambling thing. We didn't touch on the KSU situation. I decided not to. Not I sent it to you, but you know what I mean. I covered Simeon during his time at Tri Cities, so I just didn't want to get into it, man. But Antonio Blakely, former whose top prospect came out of Florida with Ben Simmons. Actually beat him out from Mr. Florida. And went to school, played together at LSU. Didn't went undrafted, but the G League route, made it big overseas, and decided to stay overseas, but has got caught in trouble. Let me go back to the article. Got caught with his hands in the cookie jar for path from playing the NBA to allege a game fixture. And to not kind of, I'll get some quotes here to make it all make sense. I believe they're all at the bottom, but you know what I mean. Is alleged, because not nothing fact right now. It's alleged to be caught in shaving points, and is alleged to have brought on former or his teammates in the Euro League to do the same things. Now, per the article, is this it? No, this is not it. Actually, yeah, this is it. Am I scrolling, Naj? No, I think I am. So per his trainer, he said he was in a good place in life where he was growing, where he elevated, and where he was really where he was really evolving and maturing as a professional. Rainey said, and I was commending him on that. So for me, it was definitely a huge shock. But to dive more into what he was alleged to be doing, it was during that season federal authorities alleged blatantly conspired with two other to affect the outcomes of CBA games. The indictment filed under the seal in 2024, but then unsealed this month, says Blakeney received bribes in exchange for Blakeney staging intentionally poor performances, sitting out of games, or removing himself from games. Blakeney recruited other American players to China to do the same thing. This is during his time in China. I believe he's in the Euro League now. Since being in the Euro League, he's averaged 30 points for whatever that's worth. Last April, with the indictment still under seal, Blakeney signed with an extension with Tel Aviv through 2027 season. He remains overseas, holding a key role on the team tied for first place in both the Euro League and the Israeli League. His coach, Demetrius Intudia, said the club entrusts Blakeney. That's old stories. And whatever, that's old stories is crazy. That's old stories. And whatever I say now might be used or not used. So better to not say. It's Tidia said, according to sports rabbi and Israeli sports website, we have no concerns in regards of the integrity, commitment to the sport ethic that AB has. So the add context was also in this article. Um, in Florida, he had an incident where he was robbed at gunpoint, pretty much. Just to give everybody just full perspective, he uh, apparently had people over playing cards, and it always plays for lots of money for the reports, and it sideways. He had victims were tied to the case too, so that pretty much that AB Antonio Blakely was a victim, and that what I mean, just having to be playing things with sideways. So when you hear his former trainer speak up for him as he was evolving as a man, his coaches coming to his defense. I mean, you never really know. I'm choosing to take the neutral stand. Being a big fan of Antonio Blakely in Florida and at LSU, just presenting the facts. So I'm extending for to you, Naj. Just what's your kind of take on this whole ordeal?
Yeah, I mean it's interesting. It's a lot going on in terms of point shaving. I think they just had a crackdown of like 40 plus athletes. Probably definitely some merit to it.
Yeah,
I would say, what I'm saying, definitely something that went on there. I think his trainer is just trying to back up his guy, what I'm saying, and support him. But you can't say it's not going on, what I'm saying, and you can't say that there ain't something there. I don't know. I mean, I think that just talks back to the game. It's just the integrity of the game has to be protected. I don't think it is currently right now. I think you had that probe with Chauncey Billups. We've seen it with Terry Rozier. It's been ho hum currently right now, but yeah, I just think it's people are getting involved in the wrong stuff. They're not playing the game at a high level. All the sports betting, the influx of that, I think definitely is damaging, and it's not a good sign for the game as a whole. When the athletes are doing that, and not playing at a high level, trying to save points to get a bet, it's crazy to me. So yeah, man. I think definitely a tough situation. Um, but definitely one, it's a cautionary tale, I would say.
yeah. Facts. I said this will come to a conclusion. So his trainer, the trainer that gave that quote, hadn't necessarily been in his camp. I think it just kind of got back to just got back in contact. But during his time early on in his career, he went to China. Like he said, he played for the CBA, China Basketball Association, and that was a time that kind of broke off because he stated in the article as well that he would rather have him go to the NBA, but he wasn't a part of that. So I say that to say, he hadn't been a part of his life for him to say that. I mean, you still never know outside looking in. And the alleged amount, what they stated that the amount that overall, what he has accumulated has been 200 grand,
Mm.
60 grand, and they fined him 250 grand. Uh, or if he's convicted, there'd be a fine of 250 grand and 25 years sentence. So, moral of the story is, players, just take the game serious. You know what I mean?
Don't mess with the integrity of the game.
And that goes for you. That goes for you coaches too. NBA coaches and college coaches that's playing your starters 2 minutes ago. You're up 25. It looks fishy, buddy. It looks fishy, and we on to you. We on to your game. We on to your game. But that's it, man. We appreciate everybody who's tuned in. Hope y'all enjoyed it, man. And we'll see y'all next Monday. If you're football fans for the football podcast, that's on and live and popping. And we make it on Keon Standiford. So stay tuned for that. I'm sure we'll ask him if he wants to talk about his new move. If not, we will not. But we're looking to get him on this Monday. So stay tuned for that. And if you're a basketball junkie, we're here every Thursday at 8. So dose up. I'm checking in on the Just Sizzling News Podcast. Until then, we will see ya. Peace and blessings.